Hi everybody, thanks for joining me here for this lesson on introductions to income statements. Now the income statement we're going to look at today is a very simple income statement. We're going to just show you a few key points as to how you can take some revenue numbers some expense numbers and figure out what your net income is. So in this example, we're going to start with our sales revenue. We've got two sources of sales revenue in this example. We have company-owned restaurants and we have franchise restaurants. So our total revenue is going to be the sum of these two revenue sources. So we're just going to go into this box here and we are going to go ahead and we are going to add the $5 million we have for company-owned restaurants to the $3.7 million created from franchise restaurants. And that gives us our total revenue of $8,712,200. Now we've got our cost of goods sold here at $6,038,300, and we want to calculate our gross profit. So our gross profit is simply our total revenue minus cost of goods sold. So we're going to go into this box here, and we're going to take our $8,712,000, and we are going to subtract $6,038,000 from that, and that's going to give us $2,673,900 for our gross profit. Now we have our operating expenses. And there's only a couple operating expenses listed in this statement. You'll typically see more than this, but this is a very simple statement designed for just teaching purposes. And we have our franchise restaurants, occupancy fees, and then expenses related to selling and administrative expense. And we want to get our total operating expenses. So to get our total operating expenses here, we're going to go in and we're going to just add these two numbers. And that gives us our total operating expenses. Now we want to figure out what our net operating income is. And our net operating income is going to be our gross profit, which is right up here, minus our total operating expense. So we're going to go in here and we are just going to take our $2,763,000 and we are going to subtract our $1,326,000. And that's going to give us a net operating income of $1,347,550. Okay, now that we have our net operating income calculated, we have interest expense that we have to account for. Okay, and in this case, we're going to say that our interest expense is 2% of our inventory. Okay. Now, where are we going to get that from? So we did have inventory numbers over on our balance sheet that we looked at previously. So if we go to our balance sheet, we're going to see that we had inventory of $293,874. So we're going to go back to our income statement. And we're going to put in a little formula here that is going to take us to 2% is going to be 0.02. And we're going to multiply that by our inventory. And that gives us interest expense of $5,877.48. Now, we're going to calculate our total taxable income here by subtracting our interest expense from our net operating income. Okay, so to do that, we're just going to take our $1.3 million and we're going to subtract our interest expense. That gives us $1,341,672. Now we're going to calculate our taxes. And over here we have a little note that our taxes are going to be 35% of our taxable income. So to calculate that, we're just going to take our taxable income and we are going to multiply it by 0.35. That gives us $469,000 in taxes. And now to get to our net income, all we have to do here is we just have to take our taxable income and subtract our taxes. And we have $872,087.14 in net income. Hope you enjoyed this introductory lesson on income statements, and we'll talk to you soon.